They talking that shit, that's a double dose. Underlay, vámonos. They lucky I did not pull up with the check it, but they wanna hear it, so here I go. Let me talk my shit, yeah. Let me talk my shit. They talking that shit, that's a double dose. Underlay, vámonos. They lucky I did not pull up with the check it, but
why did it just stop? Oh yeah, because I didn't do the fade. I always mess it up. What's up? This your boy Chucky.
Girl, double dose.
Ain't nobody screaming. You're doing Annetta and Charles. We got a presidential candidate tonight. We do, and I'm so excited. But I would let her go ahead and introduce herself.
My name is Jasmine Sherman. I love that theme song. Like, that was a whole vibe. I was getting into it. But it's true. I am running for president of the United States. I have ballot access and a really good platform. And I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. I know you have a busy schedule. So we're going to get right into it. Can you tell us just a little bit about your platform and because and please correct me if I'm wrong. You mentioned about being a socialist. What does that look like in 2024 as a socialist? What does that look like?
So my platform is guaranteed housing. So that means no more rent, no more mortgage, universal health care, including your prescription coverage, holistic care, your dental, and your vision. It also means we're putting safe use centers and medical facilities in every zip code. It means that you need free education. I don't know y'all that well, but I know you've spoken to someone stupid today. And we have to fix our education. Teachers need raises, classroom sizes need to be smaller, and we need to stop teaching to test and actually teach through a Montessori system so people can build skills while they learn and teach each other. And lastly, universal basic income, untaxed. People need money and they don't have any. And as anybody who is currently experiencing tech layoffs, they went to school, they got their degree, and they're losing their jobs. People at Walmart and Amazon, they're losing their jobs to AI. And so my platform isn't utopia, but it does provide for everyone's basic human needs.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
I attended Montessori school, so I can firsthand say that a Montessori education is by far excellent, especially for like little children like me.
And it also will help to reduce the prison to school to prison pipeline for marginalized children because they're treated like they talk too much or they don't do this. It would help us get more of a meritocracy going.
Okay. Tonight's podcast is about clout chasing. We thought this would be a great thing since you're a presidential candidate. I'm
chasing the most clout out of all.
I'm just saying. But today, okay, so Double Dose thought cloud chasing would be an excellent podcast episode today. And her reason for that is what, Double Dose?
So with social media today, I mentioned this earlier in our private conversation about the video that I shared this week about there was a cleaning video or something regarding, and there was clearly a unused or a freshly peeled banana, and it was obvious that these people created this video for clout, for viewership. And my thing is that I'm starting to see how, I don't want to say addicting, but it's I would say it's borderline addictive. I don't know, Jasmine, if you would agree or what have you. This social, like being on social media or getting all the clicks and all the views for the for shoot, even not just money. I want to state this by saying that not just money for this. It can be for a myriad of things, but money is not the ultimate, goal. What do you think?
No, I mean, as I guess a professional clout chaser currently, would definitely say everyone has their own agenda, right? But most people who do clout chase think that what they're trying to work towards can only be attained through the assistance of other people. And to some extent in the corporate world, clout chasing and nepotism kind of go hand in hand. So I do see that there's something, people do the things to pursue their passions, but I also acknowledge that social media is addictive. And I say that as someone that's lost multiple TikTok accounts. Like, you'll get up to 200,000 followers, and then TikTok will take it away. And you're like, I need those likes, I need those clicks. I do feel like the way our system is set up, it is to entice people to participate in hustle culture and capitalism, right? So those are the things that give you that luxury. It isn't just money. Sometimes it's status. Sometimes it's notoriety, right? You don't need to be Beyonce if you're Beyonce's best friend.
That is true.
But okay, so now the question I was gonna ask, and I don't know if Chucky, if you was gonna say something, but the question I was gonna ask was, I forgot.
But can I say, I messed up too. When you asked me to explain socialism, I told you about my platform, and I forgot to explain Pan-African socialism. So
please do.
I do apologize. You be just trying to get it all out because you only get a certain amount of time. But so one of the things that people don't understand about like socialism and communism is indigenous people, Africans, indigenous to native lands, they didn't practice quote unquote socialism or communism. They took care of everybody. Everybody ate. Everybody had shelter. Everybody had the things that they need. And that's really what the vein is. I want people to have the basic needs. And so socialism to some people is the border between communism and socialism. It's that progression to a stateless, classless society. But for me, it really just means I want to be taking care of people. I want to make sure that everyone is good, right? You don't need to rob me if you have your own stuff at your own house. You don't need to steal food. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I just feel like part of my belief system and my values is we get somewhere further as a community than we do as individuals. If you could be the richest person in the world, but if your house crumbled around you, it's your neighbors that call the police, or it's your neighbors that pull you out the rubble first, not money.
So my neighbor trying to charge me for my fence.
See, that's what but you would still need them, right? Because we live in these communities with people. And so my socialism is more about community and making sure everyone has what they need.
My biggest thing with clout chasing that I don't understand is that I think some people lose themselves. Yeah. They lose themselves in the things that the things actually matter. And I think I'm just me, my own personal opinion. I just believe that people need to get back to being people again. We're not a community anymore. We used to be a community, but the thing is that nobody knows, and I'm not even gonna say we used to be a community because we weren't never a community. It was still separate between white and black and indigenous people and anybody else that was in between. And then, but the thing is that those people, like, okay, you had the black people, the black communities helping each other. The white community, oh crap, they care about themselves, but and they help each other too. But I mean, but
culturally, they don't help each other. Like, I mean, just looking at the data, that there's a very different belief system in their culture. But I would also say that we banded together in the black community because before we were brought here, we lived like that, right? Like our like the boycott, right? The Selma bus boycotts. Those were our communities working together. But I also do think that capitalism has tainted the way that we can work together. Because it can't be that I grew a bunch of tomatoes and I'm sharing the food with you. We all have to buy it at the grocery store. We've lost so much stuff because of the pursuit of clout chasing.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just African American parenting. Anywho.
I'm sorry because I thought she was talking to us, and I was like, "Oh, honey, your microphone." I was like, "Oh, he parenting." Sorry.
At the end of the day, I'm a parent first. But the thing is with me that I want to know how exactly do you have universal free health? I mean, not health care. How do you do everyone has no rent, no mortgage? How do you do those things without increasing taxes?
Stop sending money to Israel. We had 95 billion just sitting there to give to somebody else. That's $270 out of your pocket, her pocket, my pocket, and everybody's listening pocket if you pay taxes. You don't have to raise our taxes. Shrink the government a little bit. Stop giving Nancy Pelosi new furniture every time she gets reelected. Stop letting our government officials abuse us. You see what I'm saying? Like there's things we could do to make more our money work efficiently. We always have money for war. We always have money for corporations. When the banks get bailed out, how many banks in the last few months have gone belly up but have been bailed out? No one has said anything, right? We do all these things for rich people. They have welfare. It's time to give it to everybody else.
My thing is that I'm a big Golden Girls. I'm a big Golden Girls lady. I am. I love when I say I love Golden Girls, I do. But it seems like every time we're always in the government, we're saying, "Oh, we don't have money. We don't have money. We don't have money." But you pull money out of the Golden Statue Fund that they pulled out of from the Golden Girls. I don't know if you watched Golden Girls, but they had a Golden Statue Fund, and they had millions of dollars in that Golden Statue Fund. But the thing is,
which Golden Girls? Magnolia Place was the poo.
Huh?
Golden Girls. There's two spinoffs. There was the Golden Girls and when Old Girl
got the Golden Palace.
It wasn't that. That wasn't why I stopped. I stopped because nobody knows that. Oh my God. Okay, we're on the same page now.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What am I missing?
The Golden Girls.
The Golden Girls. It was a separate thing of the Golden Girls, Golden Palace, and everything else like that.
I knew about Golden Palace.
It was a spinoff. It were all spinoffs.
The name wrong, yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought you was talking about something. I was like, wait a minute. I know I didn't, because I'm a Golden Girls fan too. So I was like, wait a minute. I know I didn't miss nothing, but okay.
But my biggest thing is that how do you do these things? And how do you do these things when, okay, I understand, like, we may still owe China, because I'm pretty sure that we do. I didn't do my research today, but I'm pretty sure we still owe China. But the thing is that we're donating to Israel and for them to commit genocide against Palestine. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that we can donate money to the Ukraine. But the thing is that you think people can live off $6.80 a day, because that's how they do with food stamps. $6.80 a day. A senior citizen can't live off of that. But the thing is that you will cut their check down because you went up $20 on their check in the beginning of January, and you'll cut their food stamps down to $25 a month. How are you supposed to live? How are you supposed to do any of those things? But it's just like, with being president, I know you still have to go through the Senate, you still have to go through the House, you still have to go. You don't have to go through all those things.
Biden didn't do it when he sent when he sent money to Israel. There is such a thing called executive orders, right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm following the FDR model. We have a Senate and a Congress that are taking our money and not performing our actions. We know that they can do their job. Right now, we're facing a government shutdown because they haven't passed a budget. So, but they could get together to do a House bill to send $95 billion of my money somewhere else. Nah, we know that they can work when they want to. They don't want to. And what FDR did, there's legal precedent for this, is he said, I will executive order everything until you get your crap together. Same way Biden waived 26 laws to build him and Donald Trump's border wall, the same way he sent a bunch of money, he did that through executive order. He's not getting any consequences or repercussions for it either.
And my other question is I wrote them down today. I'm not going off my seat of my pants. I definitely go off the seat of my pants. I'm not lying off. I do. My other thing is that if people don't have mortgages and they don't pay rent and there's free housing, then okay, that's great. That is great. But the thing is, how do you maintain those things? Who builds those homes? Who's going to because what is going to happen with builders? What are going to happen with all these people that get paid from these jobs that they do? How do all those businesses keep going?
They would keep going. Like, houses still need to be maintained. Roofs will still have to be redone, right? In fact, I'm putting more people to work because places like New York are going from concrete jungles to vertical jungles. We have so much work to do in this country. We are behind. Your power lines, you literally can look out your window and see them. How is that keeping you safe from a terrorist attack? Our infrastructure is crap. Like, it isn't that these jobs the Pentagon loses billions of dollars every year sustaining people's homes. Like, we have people living in trailer parks, right? Like, we need to upgrade. My platform puts people back to work who want to work. It does not force people because of technology to work, but we have inventory. We have 3 houses to every houseless person in this country, right? We have people who are living in houses that are unsafe, have bad electrical. Those people should be relocated to safe place. We have people living with mold. So like, nothing has changed, just who's paying for it. And we're not putting that burden on the American taxpayer. They're tired. They need relief. Why don't we make Amazon pay their taxes and I can put a roof on Miss Barbara's house?
That is true. That is true. Because for some odd reason, a lot of these big companies aren't paying taxes. And for some odd reason, we keep giving them breaks and breaks and breaks and breaks. But my biggest thing is that I'm listening to this. I'm listening to you. I'm just not seeing how that would happen without raising taxes at some point.
I'm eliminating property taxes. My tax plan is already posted. You don't need more taxes. You have enough taxes. You need your money to stay stateside. Like, you don't have, like, none of my platform raises your taxes. That is a talking point from other people. If we stopped doing crony capitalism and actually did fair market value for things wouldn't be so expensive. But we don't. We let contractors write their checks. Literally, GE received tax money from us. We sent them a check, right? Though it isn't that we can't afford things, it's the priority. We need to prioritize people over profit, and we don't. And so I do understand the concern, but the difference between me is, if you look at my tax plan, the numbers are there. The math has worked out. It is the difference between what I'm talking about and every other politician is I've shown my work. So you don't have to believe me. Look it up and then do the math. We have the funds. We just don't have the will.
Okay. Yeah. It looks like one of our Facebook viewers said that our government needs to help people here instead of sending money overseas. For me, I do believe that as well. I do see where more money is being sent over there. And the thing is that don't like Trump. I'm just letting y'all know Trump is not my friend. But when Trump was in office, those stimulus checks, they helped out a lot.
Yes. They
helped out so many people and so many families.
That's why I'm giving you universal basic income. I'm stopping Social Security checks from coming out of your paycheck, and I'm going to fund it differently. There's so many layers to this, right? So, one, young people should stop paying Social Security. It's a Ponzi scheme. It does not help us. It takes from us, and it doesn't adjust for inflation or anything. So we have seniors living at their deficit. Our fastest population that is losing our houses are the senior citizens. Reverse mortgages have scammed them out of their homes. The stuff we're talking about.
I'm sorry, I had to laugh at that. I personally seen a reverse mortgage and what it does when my mother passed. My mother was 94 when she passed. And the thing is that she got a reverse mortgage back in 1999 when her husband died, and he's had a lot of debt. And she was trying to adopt me and my sister, and the thing is that they said she didn't have the income. So at 74 she went back to work. And she went back to work every single day, 5 days a week at the school, teaching kids how to read and do math. that could not read and do math, and she was 74. And she worked all the way until she was 94. That was after we had left home and everything. She still worked, and then she worked all the way until she was walking into school one day, and one of the kids kicked her cane, and she fell. And when she fell, that's when her health started to decline.
I'm so sorry.
And I actually witnessed firsthand, because the thing is, nobody knew she had a reverse mortgage except me. Nobody knew that she did all these things except me. She didn't tell her own biological kids. So when she died, I said before she died, I said, Mama, what do you want me to do? I mean, they need to know. She said, they'll know when I die. And I said, but the thing is, they're gonna know when you die. But the thing is, it falls back on me. And the thing is, she was so prideful and everything else like that. She died with it. And the thing is that when she died, they found out her house had a reverse mortgage. And then they blamed me because I was her adopted child and everything else like that. Or I made her do it and everything else like that. And I got disowned from that entire adopted family. When she died, they didn't even invite me to the funeral. I didn't even know when the funeral was going to be. I found out in the newspaper like everybody else. They stopped talking to me. They stopped doing everything. When she died, I was in a position, and I told my sister, I was like, I really want to buy the house. I really want to buy the house back. It was only $53,000. I said, I really want to buy the house back. And my sister was like, no, don't do it. Because if you do it, I'm just letting you know, the rest of them, they really not going to like you. And that was the worst decision I ever made. I didn't buy the house back. They ended up selling the house for $53,000. Now somebody else lives there and ever. But my mom bought that house brand new in 1967. Brand new. She paid $6,000 for it. Cash. For a brand new house, a brand new cinder block house. Granted, it wasn't great. It was like a 3-bedroom, 1 bath.
It was
a small kitchen. It was hers. It was hers. And the thing is that I looked at that reverse mortgage. It fucked her up. And the reason why it fucked her up, and I'm going to say it exactly like this, it pisses me the fuck off. It fucked her up because literally she went from getting money from her reverse mortgage
to owing
to her paying them $1,400 a month. Because you know what they do? They put house insurance on. They put house insurance on the house in December because she had to get new house insurance by January. In the state of Florida, her insurance company dropped her without telling her. So the reverse mortgage people, they went and put insurance on her house. She had to pay them $1,400 a month every single month.
But guess who owns the insurance company?
Who?
The reverse mortgage company.
Mm-hmm.
It's a predatory thing, and that's why we have to stop it. Like, it starts with just pulling out a little bit of equity, right? But like, it's a predatory thing, and it ends up hurting more people because sometimes now you're on a fixed income, an interest rate change, a reverse mortgage change. If your property value changes, all of that is accounted for and accrued.
Everything.
And it's to your basement.
Taxes and everything affected how much she had to pay them. And when I got old enough, I was like, Mom, why are you paying them? And they said, oh, you got to pay this or we're going to put you out the house.
Mm-hmm.
So you had a paid off house. Your house had some value. Granted, they didn't give her what her house was actually valued for.
Oh, they do not.
They only gave her $33,000.
Because that was the equity at the time, like for the way that it works. And that's why it's predatory. And so my platform provides everyone with housing. So it eliminates the need for that. People in Florida right now, insurance companies are leaving Florida. All it's going to take is one good storm, right?
One
good storm, because you forget they don't have any more migrants to rebuild the houses.
Oh, I know. I'm in Florida now currently.
Are you safe?
Hold on. That is my other
safe-ish.
That right there is my other question. That leads right into my other question.
I'm glad
for me.
Wait, okay. I'm sorry, because I wanted to ask this about when you were talking about not sending money overseas. We all know that sending money overseas, not just to necessarily with the Palestine and Israel situation, but how is that going to foster with other international relationships? Because
we need to renegotiate all of those deals. So America needs to take their foot off of people's necks, right? The problem other countries have with us is we go and destabilize their government. We go and mess with them. We go and tell them how it's going to be and install a dictator. Those coups cost money. These private companies, and there's two, I wanted to speak to this. You had made a comment and said that we owe China money. Do you know the majority of the debt that the government owns is owed by Americans? It isn't owned by China. And so that's the thing that, like, I'm not trying to say there's propaganda, but there's propaganda, and they make you think that we owe China so much money. If we owe China as much money as they say, we wouldn't be talking shit to China like we do.
I do want to ask this question. I'm so sorry, and it just popped in my head.
I know yours just popped in. I'm trying not to forget mine.
I
got sometimers.
I tell my staff to write it down.
I know we both got sometimers. Okay.
I'm gonna write it down.
Okay. No. What is the Congress, Senate, whoever it is? What is they beef with China right now? Like, and I'm asking this. I'm asking that because, like, because
that was my question. That was my question after my question I was going to ask.
Okay, because like the way that that senator or whatever he was grilled the guy from the owner of TikTok, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, the man said
it was because because how much money he was making, how much money he was making, and everything. It's like that. Is that a no?
It's a no. It's actually because China is a communist country in their opinion. Like, that's really what it is. They have a beef with anything called communism. Right. And in China, they're worried people are not embracing capitalism anymore. Now, don't get me wrong.
But he wasn't even Chinese, though.
That's racism. They don't know. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It is racism and bigotry.
Okay, so with the racism, bigotry, I just want to stay there just 1 second. I'm going to let you answer, I promise. The racism and bigotry. And it seems like this yellowhead prince, for some odd reason, that sits on this throne of his little flipped over hair.
I thought this was going somewhere else.
My biggest thing is that you're like, oh, we're gonna close the borders. These people, they don't need to come here and everything. It's like that, whatever. Wasn't this land built off of immigrants?
Yeah.
Nobody
immigrants, yeah.
Yes, none of us are from here. So if those people want a better life, those people they don't want here are actually trying to become citizens, and you try to make it difficult for them to become citizens.
Do you?
And then the thing is that
no, I just want to say there's no border crisis.
There's not.
No, there really isn't. And even if we had a migrant issue, put them in dead towns. Put them in places that are already abandoned. We have whole cities where all the old people have died. We have old cities where the population is elderly and they need young, fresh people. We're not thinking strategically. We're allowing them to pit one group of poor people against another group of poor people. And if I may, please forgive me. I mean, no disrespect. It isn't people who are of Mexican descent crossing our border. It is actually Chinese people crossing over through there. And it's only the same type of ticket. It's only the same. It's a misdemeanor. That's it. The same for crossing at the crosswalk is the same as coming into America illegally. It's a misdemeanor.
My biggest thing that I don't understand is that Trump makes it seem like immigrants are so horrible and everything else like that. But the thing is these are the people that are building houses. These are the people that are building roads. These are the people that are really giving back and literally doing jobs that regular Americans will literally don't want to do. And the other thing is that
only say it's Trump, because right now it's Joe Biden building that border wall. It's Biden who said that he wants to work with Republicans on an immigration policy. Trump, for all of his musings and the phrases that he says, he is not in charge. He is not the person. All of these things that are happening right now are happening under Joseph Robinette Biden. So I understand
his
Trump,
Alzheimer's.
I understand that. No, it's just a ratchet effect, right? So they play off of each other. I'm going to pretend really hard to get these for them. Like Joe Biden is right now saying, you need to elect me so I can protect abortion. Old boy could codify abortion right now. He chooses not to.
He could have. It was a lot he could have did to help, or when I don't want to say veto, but like not have the Roe v. Wade be overturned. But you didn't. You didn't do anything.
Because he's a Catholic who doesn't believe in a woman's right to choose. He literally doesn't.
He doesn't believe in a lot of things. He's the reason why we go by credit scores right now. Like literally, we go by credit scores because of Joe Biden in '89.
And time out. For those of you all of us who with student loan issues, Joe Biden, the reason why that fucker would never he was never for getting rid of student loan issues in the beginning. He was the reason why it was what was it? It was the reason why we can't what's it called?
Include them on bankruptcies. We cannot include them on bankruptcies.
Yeah. Right. He was behind all of that, little over 40 years ago.
Joe Biden is the reason more Black people are in jail.
Right. When student loans were primarily governed and issued out by banks, he was the reason why that what's it called? What are they called? Lobbyists that lobbied for that oh my gosh, I'm gonna get it out.
And then you have Camilla Harris that gives African whatever her name is. You have her, and you got her like literally giving Black people a little bit of things, little like help. She's showing that she's helping our Black people a little bit. But the thing is that
she's giving crumbs, but you don't have to lick them up.
My point exactly. But the thing is, this is what Black people are doing, because the thing is, she's going to HBCUs and things like that, doing Black History Month and doing all those things, whatever. People, she's doing stuff for Spelman and everything else like that. But the thing is that is she actually like what? Is she actually working with Biden to change anything?
Black people in Mississippi do not have clean water. Even during Hurricane Katrina, George Bush evacuated Black people. What did Biden do for Black people who lost their water in Mississippi? Nothing. So for me, we don't have to make it all these grandiose gestures, right? Black people can't afford to eat. Spanish people can't afford to eat. The average American cannot afford to eat. And that's a problem. I will say it is a ratchet effect. They play off of each other. You elect us, we'll do this. But if you and I all three get the same check from one person, we all have the same message. You may say it in Spanish, or you may say it with an angry, happy accent of irony. And I may just be like, well, come on, you guys. But if all three of us have the same donors, we are all marching to that donor's tune.
My biggest thing is that a lot of things need to change. We need to change how long people sit on the Supreme Court. I'm sitting tired of people that went through Jim Crow still telling us now what we need to do today. I'm sick and tired of our presidents. Our presidents are freaking old as fuck.
They're all related. They've all been biologically related.
They all have, including no Biden as well. I meant to say Obama. They've all. You didn't know that? Double dose?
Hold on.
They've all been related. Yes.
Just educate me a little bit, because I'm confused.
You didn't know this? Yeah, they've all been related. They all been related through cousins. They've been cousins. Everybody that has been president since George Washington have all been related.
They all have the same bloodline. Yeah, it's so in America we have a monarchy that nobody notices, the dynasties and the legacies. I will be the first candidate elected that's not related to nobody. But I'm also the first candidate that's going to give you an age cap of 65 to get them out of government, and term limits for all branches of government, following that FDR model.
And that's what we need, because the thing is no reason why we should have Nancy Pelosi ass out here literally getting new furniture every time she gets reelected. There's no reason why, which I'm glad. What's the Black lady name? The old Black lady Speaker of the House. What's her name?
You talking about oh my God.
Somebody.
I know her name.
The old Black lady.
Keep talking. The old Black lady.
But anyway, even with her, she's like 85.
Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters, which great, she does do some great things, but it's just the thing is that we shouldn't have these same people that's in office that literally is making millions of dollars, and the thing is that everybody else is making crumbs, all because you don't want to go home. You don't want to sit down like regular old grandma. You don't want to make me no cookies. You don't want to do none of that shit. What you want to do is still come to this office every single day and waste people goddamn time.
No, the money is too good. Like the money in politics is too good. It has nothing to do with caring about America. It's nothing to do with the position. It is that people are meant. Look at Nancy Pelosi's stock portfolio. Look at it when she was in office, and look what it was when she took a little hiatus. We have data to show that there's insider trading, which was why my platform eliminates lobbying if you are a politician, and it also removes commodities. You cannot be an elected official and own commodities in a Sherman administration. If we want to remove corruption from our government, then the people who want to serve our government need to be held to a higher standard than everyone else. There's no reason we have a pedophile in office.
There's not.
And I want you to know, Matt Gaetz,
you didn't know that either?
What I'm talking about.
Else?
Matt Gaetz is not the only pedo.
Oh, you're talking about him. I'm sorry.
No. I'm not. Matt Gaetz is not the only pedo that we have.
I am here in the lovely state of Tennessee, where we have where it came out that we have active Klan members in seats in office here. And they when I say proud active Klan members. Yeah. And the thing is that when he got up there and he said the Klan speech, and nobody corrected him. Nobody tried to revert what he was saying or anything else like that. And I'm going to get his name, and give me just a moment. I'm going to look it up in just a second. But the thing is, nobody tried to correct him at all. I was like, our system is dead. Our system is dead. What we're currently doing is dead. And the thing is that in schools right now, they don't teach you things that you're going to use in the future. They don't. The thing is that what they teach you is how to work. And that's what I believe. That's what I believe how our schools, our elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools are. They teach you how to do work everyday tasks.
Did you know who created our education system?
Who?
A wealthy person, the Rockefellers. Like, the goal of education wasn't to make children smarter. It was someplace to stick the brats when the women went to work because the men were at war.
It's just paid daycare. It's paid,
and not even well-paid daycare.
I kind of want to ask this question, kind of segueing from the when Chucky mentioned about the Klansmen. How has it been? Because I've always wanted to ask this question. How has it been being a presidential candidate, being a Black presidential candidate? I want to hear your experience on this campaign trail.
My experience has been complicated because I am actually trying to win, right? And so I have been offered money. I have been offered a TV show. I have been offered violence. I have been lunged at. This is not like, people call me the N-word to my face. We get racist messages on a regular, and it's from Democrats. It is from people that you would think, but
Democrats were the original racists.
I'm going to say white people were the original racists because both of them are the same thing.
Yes.
I mean, we're all upholding white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
We're all pursuing status quo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, what has been most dangerous really hasn't been the racist. It's that person that's like, I support you, but do it this way. Or the person like, I'm competing against Jill Stein in the Green Party, right? And more white men have tried to physically attack me, and you can't do that to me because I will protect myself. I'm very pro 2A. Step over here, it could be your last step. Have tried to get into it with me. He won't be the first person to call me the N-word. He won't be the last person to call me the N-word. But what you're not going to do is think that I'm here to play with you. I actually want better for America. You know that question when they say, if you lose, will you support the? No, hell no. I'm the best person for the job. If I lose, you made a mistake and I will go around you. which is why I'm with like multiple political parties, because I'm not playing with people.
My other question, and I know you have told us you go by them they pronouns, and I don't want this to come off rude or anything like that. I really don't. What kind of things will these parties try to bring up against you, like some dirt or things like they might try to throw in your face? They try to swap over you, and they be like, oh, she's another fat black woman that just with a loud mouth.
That's why I open my speech like that. Let's get the basics out the way. So that's the thing. I have no controversies. There's nothing they can hold over me. I don't have, like, there's nothing to entice me. There's no weird sex tape. There's nothing. So most of it is money, a TV show, be a pundit. Like, it's been very sweet, right? Right. Right now we're still with the carrot. They haven't gone to the stick. But I'm not dropping out. I'm not changing. And so that's the best part about experiencing racism on the campaign trail. Black people have already learned that unless you end us, I'm not going anywhere. My ancestors lived in this nation against their will, and they one time thought that black women, black men didn't have the capacity to read. What we are doing, what I'm doing is so much more important than anything they could try to throw at me. I have nothing to hide. What you gonna show somebody? My naked butt? I'm a nudist. Help yourself. Tell somebody I'm a fornicator. I'm polyamorous. Like, there is no, what they don't understand is we are not them. And the hiccups and the judgments that kept people like me in the closet, there's nothing you could do to me. There's nothing you could say. There's nothing to be held over. My entire life has been on the internet. I got no secrets. My MySpace page is still up from like 8th grade.
MySpace?
Well, I
never shut it down. If you don't deactivate them, do they deactivate them?
Yeah, I got on my MySpace. I got on my MySpace page the other day, and I saw myself twerking in 6th grade. But back then, we didn't call it twerking. We called it popping. But
I mean, no, but it's true. Like, there's nothing. If I don't have any skeletons in my closet, tell them. Oh, well, tell them you do drugs. Tell them somebody will vote for me because I do. Like, there's nothing somebody could say to America that they can't hear from me.
It's nothing that it sounds like it's nothing that you can. There's nothing it sounds like you're relatable on every single force.
But it's because I'm not a politician. I'm a regular person.
And that right there is something that is very attractive. My other question is that we need to, how to put this?
This one must be good. I'm gonna drink my water kind of drink.
Yeah, drink your flavored water.
Flavored water.
But my question is that Black people want reparations.
My plan gives it to me.
And hold on. Black people want reparations. Indigenous people want their land back.
My platform does that too.
How do you do those things without infringing on Americans, infringing on the things that Americans have? How do you give African Americans reparations? But the thing is, you don't know their background of where they really came from. Because some of us. Hold on.
I'm sorry. I have a rebuttal against that because
hold up 1 second. I'm not done.
Go ahead.
I'm done. Because the thing is that how do you prove that you're a descendant from slaves? How do you do those things when the thing is when a lot of slaves were just a number?
I know. I'm very excited to give you this answer, but I want to hear what Double Dose was going to ask me first.
Well, it's not really a question. It's more so a statement because we've paid out reparations to the Jewish population.
Yes, we have.
To the Asian population.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody verified them.
But here's what I do.
Sorry, I'm just saying because we're African American. They're gonna want these extra steps because the thing is they're gonna want all of these things. So I want to see how is this going to happen? That's the reason why I brought up the question the way I did, and I tried to phrase it in a way where I am in opposition.
Oh, okay. I mean, so let me just say, month 2, if you Black, and you voted for Jasmine Sherman and you have a matching phenotype and genotype, you will be entitled to reparations. Now, and I say that because, like, let's say, I'm not saying he's Jack Harlow. He says he's black. Jack would have to test. His phenotype and genotype would have to match, because we are, the thing that I want to know is where I come from. I'm only 5 feet tall. Am I just a fat pygmy? And I mean that no disrespect, but until we find that out, I won't know. So my platform provides everyone with their first $4,000 check. You over the age of 16, you get your first $4,000 check starting the day 60 that I'm in office. You also still don't have housing to pay for, healthcare to pay for, education to pay for. You also will get to know where you come from. One of the things that we do is provide people with their ancestry, not 23andMe, not Ancestry.com. This is something on the continent of Africa run by Africans for us to know where we come from.
I was like, I'm from the same. I'm like,
so we would have to pay Africa to work with them.
It's a private company in Africa to tell us our genealogy. That's it.
Okay.
I'm not,
because the thing is, it seems like also like a lot of black people, they don't want how to put it, they don't want the government knowing their DNA, because they think they're going to use it and they're saving it from in the future.
We already do. All your stuff is we already do.
How are you on immunization?
Let me finish your whole question. You asked me about land back and reparations.
Sorry.
No. I'm liking talking to y'all. I'm having a good time. And I want to make sure you invite me back because you having a good time. I want this to be
this is great. I'm just when I say I'm the worst, I'm an interrupter. You can always just say, you Chucky, shut the hell up.
I was wondering, did your shirts come orange because of Chucky from Rugrats?
Well, yeah, that's my favorite character. That's where I got my name from, Chucky.
We might need to be friends. I mean, I'm not buttering you up so I can get back on the show. I'm just saying,
we don't be friends.
You're definitely welcome back. Oh, you a whole vibe. You definitely.
No, but please, my question.
So like, here's what I do, right? All right. If you buy a stolen car tomorrow, the police only solve 4% of crime, but less than 4%. Let's say you get caught in that 2% that they do solve. They make you return the stolen property, right? Police don't serve and protect, they watch property. They would make you return the stolen property. So the way that I make sure you don't have to pay mortgage, you don't have to pay rent, is I give the land back to the indigenous community. What that means is they become the stewards of the land. So listen, Susan, whoever's out there, the ficus tree that you want to cut down because you planted an invasive species in your neighborhood, you might have to go through them to see if you could cut that down. But because you don't own the land, it allows me to eliminate property tax. It allows me to give them stewardship and allow you to get your money back that you've paid for your home based on the eminent domain laws where you live, and let you sit in that house for as long as you want. When you're ready to move, you would use an Airbnb type app and you would move to wherever you're trying to go. Sorry, go ahead, Jojo.
I have a question with that. Because I have done an Indian reservation loan before.
Nope, not the same thing. Not the same.
Hold up. I know. I'm just saying. I have done an Indian reservation loan before, and I'm letting you know. They tried to get a kidney. They tried to get a leg. They wanted the firstborn.
That's all predatory lending. Lending in America. So, like, here's the problem. You brought up who's responsible for credit. I blame Orrin Hatch for credit in the 80s. The government noticed that people had, because as things got more expensive, they got greedy. People had less pocket money in between checks. So they invented credit cards. They invented a credit system. Or like, there was no credit before the 70s.
No.
This is all brand new to impact us. That's why they don't know how it works. That's why there's no rules. Pay your bill, you in trouble too fast. Don't pay your bill. He done left over credit. Come on.
It's okay. No, he coming back. He coming back.
Because I was like, wait, is this a credit thing? No, it's all made up. Like it's a system designed.
You weren't supposed to say I went anywhere. I was just like a simple vanishing.
I missed you.
I'm like a genie.
I was like, come back. Like, come back, Shane. Come back. That's an old movie that nobody.
I know the movie. We gonna be when I say, "Ooh, we finna be besties."
We gonna be eating pop. Well, I need more than popcorn in my life. When we do popcorn chicken or something, popcorn shrimp, I just keep either way. I digress.
I do pot roast.
I don't know how to cook.
I got a Mississippi pot roast right now.
I was in
I do
foster
pot.
care, so I don't know how to cook. I didn't get that experience of like I can't make eggs. I can't.
Hold up.
Mm-hmm.
You were in foster care, and this is something that leads me to my next question. That was weird, but I'm gonna let you finish what you were saying. I do apologize.
No, I mean, for the most part, like we have an opportunity to right all the wrongs. For the person who's like, but I worked really hard for my house. I just said I'm giving you your money back and I'm letting you stay there. There's never been a federal case of eminent domain that the federal government has lost.
But the thing is that does it be because with Black people, you
figured it out.
We always want the family house. But the thing is that with Black people, a lot of times we don't know how insurance works. We don't know how wills work. We don't know how a trust work.
Right.
Because the thing is, because we're purposely not taught. But the thing is that we want those things. And the thing is that how does that work with your plan? It's not same as the Amish. The Amish, you get it, the Amish bill you something, you got that warranty until their legacy ends. How would this work? Do the other family have to go on that Airbnb type app and say, oh, I don't want nobody moving into my mama house? Or what happens?
You don't get a say. Like voting for me is voting for this system. If you don't want to lose your big mama's house, then don't vote for me. But a vote for me is not a vote about personal preservation and personal property. A vote for me is the overall good. Everyone has some place to live. Now, I know people are thinking, because I got into this with my cousin today. He's like, but look, what about houses on the beach? Whatever, right? Big mansions. I said, if you are someone who has a family, like the Duggars, like people got 20 kids, they could live in a mansion, no problem. It makes sense for them. They need a larger home. But if you are a single person, but you really want to live in this mansion, then you would live communally, right? That's how we have to do that. When it comes to people who want to preserve their that's my cousin I was fighting with. I was telling y'all about. Listen, I don't hold nothing back. It's not this family, man. But he was like, what if I want to live in that big house? But not everybody wants the same thing. There are people right now dying to leave New York City. There's people right now dying to leave the suburbs. But one of the things is a man thought he had a gotcha question for me yesterday, and I'm petty. He was like, but that'll cost trillions of dollars. And I said, no, the most expensive properties in this country, the most expensive land actually only cost pennies on the dollar to buy because they were owned by brown people first. Look at Central Park. Look at the beaches. Look at how, racism is going to get us out of this financially, because I'm just using those things that were used against us and our people for years against everybody. This allows us to house everybody. Like I eliminate utility bills, but that's because I'm switching to renewable energy. Like there are all real.
Would that mean we would have to use renewable energy? We would have to use those, what is those things called? Those
turbines are inefficient. No, I'm not giving. No, I'm not giving.
Would we build like Texas when it's hot outside? When it's hot outside, you can't turn your temperature to this. They control what you do. I mean,
no, that's not how it would work. But actually, because you would have own control. Like one of the things that I do is I make everything ADA compliant. So you was talking about jobs and increasing people in construction. All of our roads, there is no reason in 2024 that our roads are not heated and cooled. Why are we still sliding around on ice and salt?
We should be like Sweden. We should be like Sweden. And that's the biggest thing I don't understand. Because for some odd reasons, when it snows in Sweden, their roads don't get icy because they're cooled underneath by literally the same exact sewage system because it's heated. It's heated before it gets. I'm sorry, I love Sweden. It's a place I'm going to move.
I'm not mad. You're making my point for me. Please.
But like the thing is with Sweden, their sewage system is heated. And since the sewage system is heated, before it gets to the treatment plant, it's already at the temperature that it needs to be at to be treated and everything else and made back into something that can be used to be drinkable or anything like that. And because it's heated longer, they don't have to use chlorine, they don't have to use fluoride, they don't have to do all those things in their water. I'm gonna move to Sweden one day. One day, y'all gonna see me, and I'm gonna be gone.
But guess what? If you vote for me, you'll have a lot of money faster to move to Sweden.
Oh, I was
you
gonna
still
move
get your reparations check.
I was gonna move there broke.
Okay, or you can keep your money and travel to Sweden. Like the sky is the limit for a country where everything is made up. Like all of this was made up. They came, they murdered who was here, tried to murder all of them, but they didn't succeed. They even did a half behind job at that.
I feel as though with African Americans, it is 2024. And I was looking up earlier today. I don't even think that we realize we're still getting beat. It's not the same way we were getting beat back then, but we're still getting beat. We're still getting our ass kicked every single day. Every single day. And the thing is that, like, let's get back to the actor strike. The thing is, Viola Davis, Monique, Taraji P. Henson, all of them have been saying that they don't make the same amount that Viola Davis. Viola Davis went to the same schools that Meryl Streep did everything, has more Grammys, has an EGOT, everything else like that. But she has to fight twice as hard to make how much she makes.
She's not a good enough clout chaser. She's not a good enough clout chaser. That's the problem. You only get chosen by a random white person that's going to give you that shot. And once they cut you off, if they don't think that's your value, they keep you right there.
My thing is that how do we fix that? And how do you fix that right now with everyday companies that just say I work for? I work for my job that I work, the job I work for, I change tires on the side of the road. That's what I do. And the thing is that since I changed those tires on the side of the road, I want to make the same amount that Bill makes. I want to say the same amount that Jake makes, but no, I'm still over here struggling trying to make what Chucky can make. And how do you fix that wage gap that when it comes to race, when it comes to you have the same exact degrees that I have. Why can't we both? Why are we both changing tires? But I've been doing this since I was 9. You've been doing this since you was 22, and I'm 34. I'm 34, and you're 44. But the thing is that you make a shit ton more than me. But I can change the tire. I can change the tire like this is NASCAR. That's why I'm lost.
You accept the crumbs, and they continue to feed it to you. So here's the thing, right? Like my platform is not going to fix your boss being crummy. My platform is not going to stop your manager from trying to take advantage of you, but my platform makes sure there's a roof over your head no matter what's going on with your job. My platform makes sure that you have healthcare no matter what's going on with your job, right? My platform makes sure you have universal basic income no matter what's going on with your job. If your boss is mistreating you and you wanted to fight back in today's society, you can't just cuss him out because your light bill due, your rent due, your kids need clothes, you know what I'm saying? But in the Sherman administration, Mr. Charlie can't just talk to you any kind of way because you aren't dependent on him to keep a roof over your head. So now you can say, look, I'm not changing tires for you anymore until you give me equitable treatment. And if he says no, guess what? You still have a house. You still have healthcare for your family. You still have money coming in. You have a better opportunity to either go back to school or negotiate. We need unions in this country. We need you to have the ability to not be exploited. Your boss talks to you any kind of way because you need your bills paid. We live in a country based on the labor laws. Your boss can forget to pay you for an entire month and still not have a legal penalty, and you won't do a thing about it. You know why?
You better, when I tell you, if you are my boss and you ever hear this goddamn motherfucking podcast, you can't talk to me any kind of way, and you know that shit. Because I done went the fuck off. I got called them drunk and called her a whole nigga, and she ain't even black.
But and, not everybody. Not everybody has that ability. We talk about.
I have. You decide you ain't gonna pay me. I'm just letting you know this laptop will be a frisbee.
But think about it, right? Puff Daddy did those things to those people almost half-heartedly with their consent.
You said Puff Daddy?
Yes, Sean Puffy Combs. He's kind of
He
like a
did.
rapist, did he?
Oh, that's the one I've been trying to go to his parties. Girl, I've been messaging him like
Listen,
crazy.
listen, they have STIs. When you go, play safe. Your whole body will fall apart. Look,
I do. Wait a minute before we move on. I do want to ask this question. How has the support been with the Black community? How has that been? Your support for your candidacy?
I'm going to say very few people, white people supported me first. Younger people, my issue. So I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not pursuing people who already vote. I am getting new people registered to vote. Older Black people love to advise me on how I should do things, how their opinion. And I go, you had your time to do that. You should have done that, so I wouldn't have to do this now. I don't take advice from older people. Younger people, why should I vote? And the thing I'm saying is this is your one shot to do something that we've never done this way. I've had more reception from people who have been ignored. I have more people registering to vote who have never voted before because it's finally something to vote for. When it comes to younger Black people, if they don't vote and they hear things that they do want, they have been registering. But our issue is the older population. I pretty much don't mess with that demographic. We need younger people to come and vote. And the reason I say that is older people are bad voters. They're clinging to preserving what they have, what they're used to. They're not really interested in moving towards something new. But what I will say also is older Black people have been like, I'm so proud of you, right? I'm proud of you. You are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Don't give up. You're not going to win. But you know what I'm saying? Like they give you that. It's an array of feelings. But younger Black people are like, I will support you if you can help me out. I will support you if you can prove to me you will win. And that's pretty much been what it is with all younger people. But I will say, I recently I've been saying I was great since 2021, but I recently went to a free and equal debate. Like I had to earn with my supporters to get on that debate stage. And ever since I've been on that debate stage, I have had funds coming in, small dollar donations. I have had people hitting my website, stuff doesn't working. I've been sitting here with you. I've got over 100 notifications of people who got questions and want to spend time. The issue was never that what I'm offering people don't want. My issue is that not enough people are brave enough to tell people I exist. They done put me on C-SPAN now, though. You can't do nothing to keep me silent.
That is awesome. I was finna ask a question, but my mind went away. But I vaguely remember my question. So I do want to know, like, what? Okay, so me and Checker was discussing this earlier about the cost of running for president. First of all, I didn't even know there was like don't get me wrong, y'all out there. I didn't even know there was a cost associated.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, I mean in a way of like oh, you got to have a minimum, you got maximum, and how is that with raising funds for that?
So I am a new person. I'm the top 10 of independent candidates for fundraising. I'm the top 10, right? But I'm also fat. I'm also Black, and I know the population that supports me doesn't have a lot of money. I earned my campaign donations. I got on a hot tour bus and we sold fried chicken and did mutual aid. I earned.
What kind of fried chicken? Who doing fried chicken?
We did. So most politicians will come to your community and say, vote for me, donate to me. You don't do shit while you there. We come in and we earn our keep. I'm not asking anybody to break the bank to help me. It is only $300,000 to be on all 50 states ballots. Louisiana, it's $700. Oklahoma, $35,000. And states are in flux. The extra money comes when you buy TV ads. My base doesn't watch TV. Your viewers don't watch TV. They listen to podcasts. They're on the internet. I have been heard. People have found me on TikTok. People have found me on Instagram. People are ready for something different. I don't need to communicate with them in traditional ways if I'm not courting old people. I'm not courting people that vote. I meet voters at strip clubs. Wait. What I mean is, I meet everybody in different places. I'm meeting real Americans where they are. We do a lot of respectability politics and with politicians. They'll go to your library, they'll go to your school, and they'll go to your church.
Yeah.
That's it. But Waffle House employees want to be heard, right? You ever heard you can get signatures at a nightclub? You can get I go where real people are, and then I get to hear about their real issues.
My biggest thing that I want to ask, what will your campaign do to keep us from going back to orphanages? You said you were in foster care. I was in foster care. And right now, this is becoming a really big issue. I live in Nashville, Tennessee, and they try to make things cute and call them safe houses. But the thing is that right now, DCS here in Tennessee, in the state of Tennessee, is being sued. And the reason why they're being sued is because these safe houses that they had these kids staying in, kids were getting pregnant, kids were catching diseases. They had 15 kids sleeping in two bedroom houses that they rented out. They rented these houses. And they had 15 kids packed there. Mm-hmm. The kids were not able to get their right medication. Kids were not able to do the things they could do. And then the thing is that it's no fault of the caseworkers, because you know who watched those safe houses are the caseworkers. And the thing is that they pay foster parents to come there and stay through to stay as well. That you can volunteer. They'll pay you for that time that you go there. But the thing is that what do you do to make that a better what do you do to make these situations better? Because this is not just happening here in Tennessee. This is happening everywhere. And the thing is, it's more children in foster care now. It's more children. It's because the thing is, honestly, and just my own personal opinion, this is just where I'm coming from. I'm only going to speak my own mind. I believe anybody can have kids, but everybody is not meant to be a parent.
I agree.
And sometimes things happen. And with us doing abortion things and saying that people can't get an abortion and everything else like that, you're putting more kids in unsafe situations that they can't protect themselves. And then the thing is, you have these predators that are presidents. You have these predators that are in the Senate. You have these predators that are all these places. And the thing is that you're perfectly fine with marrying off a 13-year-old to a 45-year-old man.
I'm sorry, 12. The person from Arkansas said 12.
And the thing, marry them. The thing is that what do we do to protect these children that don't have a voice? Because the thing is, most kids in foster care, they don't have a voice. Mm-hmm. And some kids go into foster care because of homelessness or anything like that. But the thing is that they don't have a speaking ground where anybody can.
They do in a Sherman administration. The first thing I do is give children rights. The United States is the only country where people under the age of 18 have no legal rights. And I also make corporal punishment illegal. But the way you take care of keeping families together is family preservation. Why take kids from poor people and then pay somebody else to watch those kids when you could have just gave the family the money?
That is true.
A lot of the problems we have with the children and the situation is poverty. So my platform, the way we handle it is family preservation, keep the family together. If they cannot stay, let's say your mama's Pam and she whooping you up and down the street because some reason, right? Then we go to kinship. Is there anybody in your family that can take care of you? Right.
But the thing is that a lot of times,
you can't say what's my plan and then cut me off during my plan.
No. I was still gonna let you talk about your plan. I was just adding a question onto right there what you were saying. When you do kinship or things like that, you do kinship because a lot of times with foster care, that's the first thing they do. They look for kinship. But the thing is that you have family like I'm staying out of it. Mm-hmm. And things like that. Like what exactly
Then we go to fictive kinship. Like we don't want to put a kid where they're not wanted. But I also remember, so we moved to fictive kinship and then legal guardianship and then legal adoption. But in my platform, if you're over the age of 16, you don't need to live in another adult's house. You can stay by yourself. We have children doing that all the time. I was emancipated at 16. We legally do it all the time as long as your needs are met. If they have health care, housing, and universal basic income, they don't need adults.
But wouldn't at 16, only saying this because I'm just only asking. At 16, isn't that kind of dangerous? Because
you let them drive automated vehicles. You let them have guns. What do you like? You can't pick and choose when it's dangerous. They're either fully developed enough to drive an automobile, right?
It just seems like it seems like that would just put because at 16, your hormones and everything else like that, it just seems like they'll get pregnant and there'll be another
They
cycle.
have universal health care. Like we have pregnancy is down. We can give them contraceptives. We can give them birth control. We could also let them have abortions if they wanted to. Like these problems that we're seeing, other countries are not seeing them.
At 16, you're not developed enough. You're not developed
until you're 25. But but so you should stay home until you're 25 because your brain's still not developed. You can't have it both ways.
My kids staying home until 25. But yeah. I do get that, but it just seems like 16.
We can marry at 12 in this country. Like you can have a whole family if your parents marry you off. Why can't you live by yourself? If we set up safeguards, if we put things that they're not exploited, right? They don't need to now go find Mr. Charlie or somebody to take care of. They have their own money. So now adults can't lead them astray. We also, because they're still going to school, we put mental health in the classroom. So they have access to healthy coping mechanisms. They have a support system. We switch from policing to community task force. So they have resources. I'm not saying that every 16-year-old is going to run out and get their own place, but a foster care 16-year-old would be fine in their own place.
16.
We emancipate kids at 16 already. Kids at 16 already have legal rights when they're emancipated. It's not like our children are getting more immature. They're more mature than we were.
When you do that and you give them those things, do they have a guardian? Is there anybody? Is there anybody that is like, is it mandatory they have to get birth control? Is it like, what do you do?
Your choice. Like kids are having sex right now. It's not something to regulate. What do you think stops someone from getting pregnant? It isn't like, I'm trying to understand where you coming from, because I do feel like you're a protective parent. You love your kids. But there are people right now, there are 16-year-olds right now in miserable, dangerous situations. Think of trans kids. Think of gay kids. Think of kids whose parents have recoupled up and they're in an abusive household. Like, we have to provide options for those kids who are the most marginalized.
I get that. I do. And I understand all of that. I just look at it back like when I was 16 years old. I couldn't, granted, I wanted to be on my own. I couldn't be on my own. I couldn't be trusted. Shit, I was out there fucking Charlie's daddy, mama's daddy.
Okay, but who cares? Daddy. What's wrong with that? Be promiscuous. I don't understand what does that have to do? If you have a roof over your head, your supply, what is wrong with someone being promiscuous? You didn't even die. Last I checked, you have a job, you changing tires, you take care of your family. What was wrong with that?
But the thing is that I had, like I said, I did have that guardian that was there, and that guardian that showed me, okay, this is what you need to be at. That kept me in line. That was like, okay, you need to get up and go to school, even when I didn't want to go to school.
Okay. That systems are already in place. You asked me, and I said they get that. That's the whole point of getting kids rights. We give them a liaison, someone that they can utilize for this. We also provide them with therapy. Like, we didn't go into this blindly. Like, these kids are not going to not have support. But I also think I'm a big data person. It would be different if we didn't have data to demonstrate that 16-year-olds are already doing this. If we didn't already have a system in our government when they push children off, that would be different. All we've done is the same thing we're doing, except instead of the kid having to have a job and support themselves, they already have housing. They could focus on school. I know when I was 16 and I was still in high school, I was living in an apartment by myself with a roommate that I met. You know what I'm saying? Like these people are already doing this thing. They're already doing this work. 16, we're rolling back the labor laws in this country already to make these people more, because there's not enough workers. There's not enough people to be exploited. Florida just passed the most atrocious child labor laws. We only treat 16-year-olds like 16-year-olds when we can't find a reason to exploit them or to hamper their progress. Not saying that's you personally, but that's all. Everybody's like, we want to protect children. Then why are you not stopping them from getting killed in classrooms? Giving children rights and letting them lead fulfilling lives is how we have better, more mature adults. Because if it's you have to stay home till your cortex is fully formed, then a lot of 21-year-olds, 22-year-olds, they need to move back home. But I would also argue just because someone is older doesn't mean that they are wiser or wiser to make better decisions. They just got here before you. That's it.
That is something that is quite deep, and that's a very, very deep statement. My other thing is that what exactly do you do to ensure all these policies and everything stay in effect when you're not in office anymore?
That's on y'all. I have given you, my slogan is let's reset, not let's keep Jasmine forever. I have provided you with a new Congress. I have given you the tools to support yourself financially. I have provided you with the tools to support yourself physically and mentally. If y'all mess this up and let things get awry, that's a y'all problem. Personal responsibility is a factor. A lot of people the problem we have with politics is a lot of people want to run politics on autopilot. I don't care about politics. Politics cares about you. For every person that's like, I don't like the price of eggs, that's because you don't do politics. For every person that's got a problem with their paycheck, what's FICA doing for you right now? Politics doesn't need you to do politics or politics to do you. And so I'm offering you the tools to get yourself a new structure. I would recommend that we go ahead and have a new constitution that is renewable every 20 years, like Jefferson advised. But y'all not going to, I'm not trying to be a politician. I'm trying to fix it real quick and get out the way. I'm old. I'm going to be 40 soon. Like the average life expectancy is 78 in the United States of America. 40 is gone.
That lady want to push us to have the what
Nikki
is it?
Haley 70. She wants you to be there till 70.
Yeah.
I put an age cap at 65. It's like your back hurts now.
Shit, my knees hurt and I'm 34.
That's because we was walking it out. We should have been walking it out. West side shouldn't have walked it out. East side shouldn't have walked it out.
I told you I was still popping at Dakaya on MySpace. If you log in, if you go to my MySpace, you go to my MySpace page. This name is still the same, Juicy Booty 39. But
how about my outfit that I wore on stage at a Juicy Beauty? So I get it. Nothing wrong with Juicy Booties or beauties, but I do feel like we have allowed propaganda to make us believe things about our people, our youth, and our decisions and choices against us. Like this is how we have poor people voting against their self-interest. That's like, do you remember back when Obama was president and they was interviewing people about Obamacare and the lady was like, I hate Obamacare. And she was like, but I do love this Affordable Care Act that I've got. Our population has a average 6th grade educational level, and they are taking advantage of that. Do you know why now companies are saying degrees don't matter? One, because they want to pay workers less.
What is it? The what's it called? The workmen people it's not enough people to work.
Correct.
They need laborers. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, they do.
My biggest thing,
because Black women are the most degreed population in the United States, and now those degrees are irrelevant.
Yep.
My thing is that if I have a degree, if I have a bachelor's, I have a master's, it's no reason why I should be starting off this job paying $15 an hour.
I agree. It's like, When I worked, I would not answer my phone for less than $80 an hour. I don't work anymore. I retired, but you get what I'm trying to say.
How'd you retire?
You retired. Shit, that's what we need to talk about.
Then I suggest vote Sherman in 2024.
How did you retire? Shit, I'm trying to
I worked in
retire.
banking. I worked in banking. I got ahead by doing what I've seen other people do. Lie, cheat, and steal. You make your first million. It's just money makes itself after that. Once you hit a certain price point, right? They call you. Let me help you manage your money. Let me introduce you to this person. And that's when the nepotism begins. That's when you get that stock tip ahead of time. That's when I also am really good at reading a room. What are you investing in your portfolio? If you own stocks, I would suggest you be investing in things that people can't live without, like water, canned air. Those are real things that you cannot negotiate through. You can't live life without water.
I still don't understand how we get charged for things that the earth makes naturally. Why
You
the
won't
hell?
if you vote Sherman in 2024.
Why are we putting air in the can?
Because we polluted the environment.
But the thing is, I'm asking. We put an air in a can. Now it's an aerosol.
So, but again, who owns that company? It's not millennials.
No.
It's not us. It's the people who poisoned us, selling us the cure, the treatment. If we don't want to cure cancer, we want you to keep coming back for the chemo.
My next question. And this right here, this question is going to be a question because I'm tired of seeing us missing. I'm scared to ever become missing. And that's not a thing that should be happening.
But do you know why?
Because the thing is that with our government, is some odd reason, I can see Shirley. I can see Brittany. I can see Jasmine. I can see all these people, these lovely missing people on the TV. But for some odd reason, when I'm missing, I'm still not on TV. I'm not in the newspaper. Shit, I'm at the bottom of the little news caption, just sliding by. And the thing is, there's no Amber Alert.
That's because you don't matter. Like, I'm not trying to be ugly, but we just found 250 bodies behind a Mississippi prison missing organs, and they charging their families to get those bodies back. Black bodies in America don't mean anything, and that's not me being ugly. That's me reading our history.
Yes, and that's the reason for this question. How in your presidency, how are you going to make us matter? How are you going to make us on the same exact page as everyone else? There's indigenous people. They're below black people for some reason. I don't even understand that.
Because this is their house. Indigenous people are being occupied. We are no different than the Israelis on Palestinian land. We've occupied Hawaii. Like, Hawaii is a whole occupation system. But
that's a whole Oprah thing that pisses me the fuck off.
But I really want to say this because I'm running for president. I am not a miracle worker. I'm not promising you utopia. I'm promising you healthcare, housing, and education. I have set up abolishing police and community task force. But you got to work on your community. You need to know who's coming and going. You need to be watching your neighbors. And that's why I'm paying you to stay home and do it. Please read the Abolish Police Policy at JasmineSherman.com because there's nuance. We have ways to keep our safe. Like, back in the day, when my parents, back in the day, right? Let's talk old people times. It was down. Not everything they did was great, but the biggest theme was your neighbor knew where your children were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had a sense of community.
Right. Because you had no choice. And so what I'm trying to bring back is I don't really talk to my neighbors, not necessarily that, but I'm trying to make sure that somebody who lives in your zip code is responsible for your safety. A cop could come in, don't care. Right. And I'm going to tell you something nobody's talking about. The police that are killing us and not telling anybody. What about that girl that cop ran over and then they called 6 hours later? Like, yeah, it was funny. They hit a jaywalker.
Oh, yeah. The mom's son who was the police officer hit him and the body's been buried and everything. But the mama thought he was missing for 6 months.
Yeah.
For 6 months. Come to find out the police officer hit and killed him.
and don't
That's
get
like
no time.
somebody that's like somebody we went to school with. This guy was missing ever since 2011. Since 2011. And the thing is that they didn't find him until 2023. But the thing is that he wasn't anybody that was technically really missing. The police already had his ass in the morgue in 2011.
But that's what all of us. I'm trying to tell you, the thing I do for Black folks is I abolish police and I replace it to a community task force. There's no reason in 2024 we are still using actual people to give a speeding ticket. If you're going too fast, the camera could take it and you can get it in the mail. Why are we still doing that? Think about that man in Georgia. The cop was trying to force him. He was an older Black man. Cop was like, "You're gonna sign this ticket." He shot him with the taser because the old man was like, "I didn't do this. I'm not signing to say I did." So they killed him. And I have to worry about my father because my father's an old, mouthy Black man. Not that he's mouthy like he's looking for trouble, but if he didn't do it, he's not going to say he did it. That could be my dad. Why are we still using, and for people who claim to love cops, I don't get why. Some people have an allegiance to losers, but I can't help that. Cat Williams explained it to y'all on the Shay Shay room. We have to stop utilizing old technology for new problems. You want to save lives of cops so they're not getting hit on the side of the road? We don't need them to be out there. They should be doing, I'm really against the police, no offense. They're not helping us. And so we don't need to keep doing problems like that. We have robots delivering food in certain cities. We have drones. Why are we still utilizing physical labor of people who are not there to protect you? The Supreme Court has already said they protect property, not people. Vivaldi, all them cops watch them babies die. Yep. And so all I could say is we don't really care about children in America. If I could help Black people, the best way I could help us is to give us our reparations, provide us with housing, and to make sure that cops can't just come kill you in your sleep.
Can we also just put out there that if it's a fertilized egg in a freezer, it is not a person.
Not if you.
It has not grafted. It has not grafted on anything.
I expect my child support. I expect my child support on Tuesday. I'm gonna tell them those was your eggs I had on stock. Because Chucky, you got the child.
But I have eggs. I have me and my husband have 6 eggs that are frozen. And I want another baby. My husband doesn't. But the thing is, they are embryos. But the thing is that to me, I still pay what I gotta pay every year to keep them frozen.
Listen, you better call IRS. You better say I want to claim my 6 dependents.
They won't even give me a Social Security for them 6 eggs.
They have to do nothing with them 6 eggs. They are now trying to backpedal that whole thing. We have to remove older politicians.
I'm sick and tired of that farting. I'm sick and tired of that farting, burping old ass lady in Alabama. I'm so sick and tired of her on live fucking TV farting and burping.
Did you see what she did with the PPP loans? We let them go wild. She took the $440 million was given and she used it for prisons. I'm sorry, a water park.
My biggest thing is between her and our president that keep on talking about McDonald's smoothies and shakes when he don't need to. I'm so sick and tired. I'm so sick and tired of these old people. These old people are literally making the people that are going to be here, the people that are going to be here in 6 years. You're making these people life hell.
They're making them dumb. They're trying to eliminate the Department of Education.
And then we had Obama. Obama ran for president. And the thing is that everything he ran on, he did the exact opposite.
So Obama told you he wasn't going to do much. So the problem we have is that we don't scrutinize people. Frantz Fanon told you in The Wretched Among Us that they use people that look like us to get something. How many Black politicians have you seen say, "Oh, I'm a Democrat," and then switch to Republican? That just happened in a couple of states. You have to stop voting for Democrats. They're not helping you. Republicans are not helping you. Anybody who's like, "Well, I got to keep the system the same," dang it, drink your poison and shut up about it. because you are getting crumbs because you eat those crumbs. And Black people freely believe that Black capitalism is going to save us. It isn't. If it
I'm
was,
just sick
Oprah
and
would have put
tired.
a school in America, not Africa. And then
I'm
what
sick
happened?
and I'm sick and tired of us as a country keep sucking all these old dicks, and it ain't changing a damn thing.
And they
These are
don't
same as
understand what they're voting on. They don't
but the
understand
thing,
what they're voting on.
oh my God, thank you so
just
much.
had a
Next
hearing.
question.
They just had a whole hearing on social media, but don't understand how it connects to the Wi-Fi.
My next thing. Can we please stop these governors in states from putting like I'm just going to use Ron DeSantis. Use him as literally like a person that literally I'm going to use him.
Yeah, talk about
literally
Little Dropout. Talk about Little Dropout.
That man literally in the state of Florida changed the rules so he could run for president and still keep his office. The thing is, but how he did that was he put that up under something else that Black people didn't even read.
He didn't do that. His Congress and his Senate did that for him.
Yes.
But you're right. Black people still didn't read it, but neither did Spanish people. What about the people who voted against themselves? Like in Florida, they voted to get rid of all the immigrants, and now they have no one to pick their fruits and veggies.
The thing is that for some odd reason, DeSantis literally forgets what his daddy is. He forget what his daddy is. You only go what your mama is, the white lady.
I mean, is Nikki Haley Brown? That's the whole Asian American that thinks she is from the Caucasus Mountains. We let people play in our face. There are so many people who have what they have, and they just want to preserve that. But luckily for us, there's more people who don't have anything. There's more people who are at such a deficit, they are ready for a change.
To me, it just baffles. It baffles me and it makes me laugh because the thing is that if our generation, not our generation, our generation, I'm gonna say 20s and Gen Zs and everything else like that. If we don't get out of this clout chasing and get out of everything that you see somebody else doing, you want to overdo because you see what this is on social media and everything else like that. If we don't get away from that, we're gonna be in a worse revolving door, because the thing is that everything changing, just to me, everything's changing back to where it was before. Like so far as Roe versus Wade being overturned, women's rights, just say in the very beginning, women's rights. Every woman deserves to have they can tell what they want to do with their own body. But the thing is that because you're not a machine, you're a living person with feelings and everything else like that.
But you can't have it that both ways. Women put Trump in office. Women put Biden in office, and neither of them did anything to protect women. What we have to do is break the cycles of our predecessors, because I get what you say about clout chasing, but as long as we continue to punish the person who's different, as long as we continue to ostracize the kid who's Black with purple hair or emo, like, we are getting the same thing. Judging people by their appearances, that's not us. That's not who we are. If we want to have something different, we must do something different. Our priorities must shift. Our behaviors must shift. If you have never done it before, then you can't complain about the way you're doing it now, because you're not trying to change. For all the old people we have in office, part of the problem is that young people have to run. Like, I can blame everything on the elderly, fine, but without someone to still do that work, I got nothing.
Can I run? I'm a felon. Can I run?
You should run. You should run.
I'm a whole felon. Can I run?
I mean, you got a whole rapist in office. Why not?
My whole thing is that we would have to make politics, first of all, because politics isn't, let's be real, politics isn't sexy. It's not. It's not. It's not.
With all the intrigue.
Actually, I'm a gay man, but I can say Jasmine Crockett, she makes it sexy. I don't know how to when she be going off on people, I'm like hard ass dick the whole damn time.
But the thing is, but I mean,
what you see isn't sexy. You see the boring things. You see the things that you see the things that make you go, oh, I don't care about this, and tune out. That's by design.
But that was bringing me to my point about especially getting younger people involved in politics. A lot of younger people are not interested in politics because a lot of it, I mean, they see what shows up on TV is them yelling and the debates and stuff like that. That's the part that for some people, for folks like me, where it's like, okay, like this is catching my attention, but they're not interested in the stuff that you do on the background, like the paperwork and things like that. That's the part where it's like the footwork, where it's like,
politicians don't do their footwork. I mean, I get what you're saying, right? But we've never started it, right? Like, I'm 38. This is the earliest I could run for office. You know what I mean? Like, we can't say phrases like young people aren't interested in this. Like, more young people are politically active than ever before because they're being impacted. Our environment, we can't breathe, right? We have a whole group of young activists that are doing that work. Young people are making up all those people protesting in Palestine, doing that marches. That's young people. I'm not saying they're not older people there, but I do feel like it's doing a disservice to say our young people are not aware of politics. Our young people don't have the barriers to entry. Maybe they might, because if you have to work a job, you can't run for office and then only make $14,000 to be a city council person. Like, it is rigged against them. And so, like, that's where people's confusion is with me, right? Like, they're expecting me to, how are you doing this? How are you affording to travel? Not everybody will be.
I believe you're right. We need more Angie Nixons. I don't know, you may not know who Angie Nixon is. She is a city councilman in Jacksonville, Florida. She's African American. We need more Angie Nixons. We need more Fannie Willises. We need more Jasmine Crockett's. We need more. Eric
Mays, may he rest in peace.
We need more people. We need more people to be a voice. But the thing is that surprises me. I have 16-year-olds, and the thing is that they're more involved and want to know more about how politics and everything like that is going. Like my 16-year-old said, make sure you ask her about the 2025 plan. And I was like, what is that? What is that? And she said, you don't know about the 2025 plan? I said, no, what is the 2025 plan? What is it? My 16-year-old came to me with this, literally before this podcast.
So Project 2025 has been a destabilization of other government agencies to put most of the power in control of the president and the groups that presidentials control. It has not been, it's not a new thing. It used to be called Project 2008. It's the same way they've been working for 50 years to eliminate Roe versus Wade. They're long conning it. So if it doesn't happen in 2025, they're going to call it 2029. Like, it just keeps going. But it's more about closing ranks to provide the president with power to eliminate the other checks and balances. But there's nothing Joe Biden is doing to stop that. There's no plan that the Democrats have to stop Project 2025, except to scare you into voting for Democrats. There's always a boogeyman in a ratchet system. If they can't blame Trump, then they got to blame Project 2025. But how long can you say Donald Trump is the problem when Joe Biden is committing genocide? My mother, when I was a kid, my mom would say, I didn't ask you what your friends are doing. I'm talking about you. Biden keeps going, but Trump. Trump is losing ballot access. Trump is facing 91 indictments. And when the Supreme Court picks it up, we'll know come June if he's going to actually have to sit for his crimes.
In which he should. But for some odd reason, his little calm over self don't even see it. He think that he's going to get away with something else.
His base is letting him get away with something else.
Yes.
I mean,
they literally let him get away. And then my thing is that
Nikki
with Black people,
somebody who wasn't on the ballot, she lost to no one by 60%.
Damn.
No, what's my biggest thing is with Trump is that you have African Americans that are on his side because they may own businesses and what he did with tax breaks for them and everything else like that.
Those expire. That's black capitalism again. That's not going to save us.
Yes.
That's people choosing, well, my boss is talking trash, but I need this check, so let me suck it up. People are giving their integrity away for a check. People are clout chasing. They're giving their integrity away for whatever it is that is the shiny object that they think they need for happiness. For me, when I was younger, I used to think if I just made 6 figures, it'll be okay. I'll be okay. I made 6 figures, like, oh, this ain't enough. It's whatever your ambition lies. Like there's some people, like, I would never want to be a famous person as I've gotten more attention. I think the person who's the smartest is the cameraman. You get to go to all the parties, you get to be associated with the glory, but you don't get the inconvenience of having no privacy.
My other thing is, and before we end this podcast, what exactly will keep you on track of everything that you want to get done? What exactly? Hold up one second.
My bad, I was ready.
What exactly is going to keep you on track with everything you have planned? What exactly is going to keep you on track from getting the Supreme Court or other people from getting you from changing your mind of the things that you want, that you have envisioned, that you have planned for the government? What exactly is going to keep you there?
So I want to be clear. The reason I'm doing this, I currently run a mutual aid in Charlotte, North Carolina. I support 33% of the house's population. I went to try to buy an old jail so I could stop paying landlords and just let people live for free. And they were like, no, we want to sell it to a developer. I went to go buy an abandoned school where we already had squatters living in it. And they were like, no, we want to sell it to a developer. Do you know those 2 pieces of property are still sitting there unsold? I decided that I was just going to go ahead and eliminate houselessness. My mission, like I said, my entire life is public. You can review it. My mission has always been my community and the people around me. I've been consistent for 38 years. I just told you I've been offered money. I just told you I've been offered a TV show. And I'm quite cute. I could fetch a man in this with this face if I was on national television, or a woman, or a both. Either way, ignore my greed for the flesh. What I'm saying is, this isn't like I woke up 2 years ago and I was like, hey, I'm going to run for president. No, I have been working in my community. I have tried and exhausted all our options. And our situation, our sense of urgency is dire. This is not something that's up for grabs. We are living in a collapse.
What do you need?
$300,000.
How can we help? How can we donate?
Yeah, small donations. The reason I say $300,000, $300,000 is what it costs for the ballot access, all the states. Now, if they change the law a little bit, $200,000 pays the people that work on this campaign. That's $500,000. That's it. It is the cheapest election you are ever going to have. People talk about taking money out of politics and don't act like they want to take money out of politics. Why is your politician flying everywhere? That's bad for the environment, and that shows they're not fiscally responsible. You can't tell me I'm going to balance a budget when you don't act like they're spending my money. We have people who get donations and funds. That's your money they're wasting. The way you help me is word of mouth. The way you help me is small $5, $10 donations. The maximum, because some of y'all probably got it, ballers. The maximum anyone can give is $3,300. And do you know it used to be $2,800, but the government raised it because candidates needed a raise for collection to deal with the inflation after COVID. They knew that they needed more money, but why do you never get more money? But those are what I need. I need you to talk about me. I need you to share me on social media. And I need you to be hungry enough to want change. You should want better for yourself. If you want better for yourself, then you'll vote for me. If you don't, you won't.
Okay. And that right there is an ending note. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want anything else out there.
I just want people to know, keep your head up, start mutual aid. You have to you can't wait for me to get into office to start this work now. You need to start building your relationships with the people that you care about. Life is short, and we are about to be in for a long, painful journey. We didn't even talk about the devaluing of the dollar on this live. I mean, this podcast.
You're coming back. You're coming back.
Okay.
You're coming back.
Oh, welcome.
And the other thing is, the other reason why I want you to come back, because I want you to come back and I want us to do with your running mate as well.
Okay.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the other thing that I really want to stress on this, no matter who you decide to vote for president, the thing is your vote does matter. I understand that we're shown that it doesn't. When you're shown that when you do vote, Trump shown that how easy it is for things to be construed.
You got your hand.
There's one little thing that where Trump beat Hillary, even though Hillary won the popular vote and Trump won the electoral college, they done went to work fixing that. We still have the electoral college, but we have the National Interstate Voter Compact. It doesn't have to go down like that, like it did before. A third party can win. So what happened with Trump, that was something that they went and they got revenge for. We're 4 states away from it being federally ratified anyway, where those states have committed to give their popular vote, the winner of their popular vote, all their electoral college votes.
And that's right there is something that we all needed to know.
That's why I raised my hand. I was like, oh, snap.
And I wanna say on behalf of Shit Talk Podcast, we're going to post ways that you can donate and you can support. We're going to make sure that we do our part so that people in the age of 30 and over can feel as though they do have a little bit of a voice. No, like I said, no matter what you decide to vote for, voting does matter. Register. No matter when you turn 18, I know people are afraid of drafts and everything else like that or whatever. But the thing is that the world that we live in needs your vote. The world that we live in needs your voice. The world that we live in needs you to run for office. The world that we live in needs a voice. Granted, I could run for office and y'all gonna find my sex tapes and everything else that you may want to dig up.
OnlyFans.
But the thing is,
OnlyFans is for how people donate. That's a donation marker.
The thing is that for mine, when I decide to run for anything, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna post my sex tapes and all. You're gonna see this booty twerking. But at the end of the day, you may actually see me do some other things too. But yeah, it's a couple of things.
As long as it's behind a paywall, so you can get donations. Listen, you can run for office because you're human. Like the standards, the respectability politics, those days are gone. Those days are gone.
Mm-hmm. And I paid my taxes, so it wasn't sex work.
Yeah, anyone who wants to run for office, I'll help you. If you don't know how to get started, the beauty of my campaign is you can schedule a meeting with me. If you've had any questions about the things that I've said or the things that you've heard, you could schedule a 30-minute Zoom.
Do you charge for any of these things?
No, it's free. It's your country. I'm applying for a job. I want to interview with as many individuals that want to interview me.
Interesting. That is great. And I'm so glad that you was able to share that. And so thank you so much, Jasmine, for being on our podcast. And thank you so much for being so raw with us with everything that you shared. And like I said, I do want to schedule something in the future with you and your running mate. I really do. I believe in a lot of things that you believe in, and you're the first socialist, isn't it socialist?
I'm a socialist.
You're the first socialist that I've ever encountered, and you're the first socialist that I ever had the pleasure of having these conversations with.
Me too.
So we do appreciate it.
Yes.
Like I said, for all of our viewers and all of our listeners on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, and wherever you may hear our screaming voices or our crying voices or our drunken voices, wherever you may hear us from, I'm just letting you know. Thank you so much for listening to Shit Called Podcast, and I'm Chucky.
I'm Double Dose.
I'm Jasmine Sherman. I was happy to be
here. You Jasmine Sherman. Hold up, you gotta give him. I'm Jasmine Sherman, your next president.
Oh, we already know that. But yes, I'm Jasmine Sherman, your next president. Visit
Thank
me
you
at
so much.
jasminesherman.com.
Yes.
Visit her at jasminesherman.com. And if you decide to listen as well, you can listen to her things that she promote, her policies and everything. So there's audio for hearing impaired. I mean, no, there's audio for there's audio for
accessibility. It doesn't matter
accessibility.
It doesn't matter why you need to use the audio. If you're busy, if you can only listen to your politics when you pooping, you just use the audiobook whenever it's convenient for you. Listen, some people don't only get a minute's piece in the bathroom. I don't have children, but I heard they follow you in there.
They do.
They do. And they want to talk to you from outside the door. They sit crisscross applesauce.
That's why you just put on that Jasmine podcast.
And we're going to have you back. Thank you so much for listening to Shit Talk Podcast tonight.
Thank you.
So here I go. Let me talk my shit. Yeah. Let me talk my shit. Things like this, it don't happen often. I get around my partner with shit talking. Spitting it, cussing, it happen often. Having deep conversations about what we lost in.